Technology is a fact of life for most people. It is a part of daily existence. For some, technology is an obsession. For those that chase the cutting edge, it can be a fetish. Everyone in the wasted world hopes to get their hands on some of the old world tech that can make their lives easier. The fetishists just want the most advanced technology they can find, no matter what it actually does. It's like chasing a high. These high priests hoard the rarest of the rare. For Alan Fife, who is himself the rarest of the rare, the tech elite may prove to be his only hope.
We're going to begin with a long, expensive camera pull-in, although I guess these days, now that we have drones, they're a lot less pricey. But we're going to do the from far above, zooming in. We see the campsite that's known as Wayward. So it's a nomadic wasteland town, which consists of, I forget what we said, it's half a dozen, a little more vehicles that are circled up, and then they've got yurts and tents and a couple of RVs that serve as the town. There's a scramble of people that are doing things like sorting salvage for their most recent run. And there are people in specially outfitted pickups that have mounts for guns that are guards watching the place. But we don't actually go in on the village itself. We go in on a familiar, squat but majestic, purple, three-eyed goblin who is standing looking alone. Is literally standing alone, but is actually looking very much alone. He is normally somebody that you wouldn't think of being small, regardless of his physical height. But in this moment, he is sagged a bit, is standing as though his resolve is deflated a bit. And he stands up. And where are you going to go, Erik?
I'm going to look back and forth between the desert where we came from and the camp where my friends are. And sort of sigh and pull my shit together, my jacket and all that kind of stuff. And dust my pants off. And pull my mask off and wipe the tear out of my third eye. And kind of clench my fists and walk back to the camp.
As you come back, someone's got a music player, and it's not like a music, or it's not an ear pod like you have. It's basically a beatbox. Again, our technology is retro future from the early 80s. So what they would imagine in the future would be bigger, cooler, louder beatboxes, not evolving past beatboxes, but having really cool beatboxes. And there is one in the middle of the village, and it's currently, as you enter, it starts Rock This Town by the Stray Cats, which at this point is a super deep cut oldie, but you enter with the music basically at your back.
All right.
Jessie is got her gear on, so she's got sort of a strange puff of purple hair and this unusually clean white, almost pantsuit thing. But she's got scavenger gear over that, so has a vest with a lot of pockets, has a couple of small packs, has another weapon strapped on. It looks like it's time for her to switch places with her brother. And she's on her way out of camp and stops by you. Erik, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for being cool.
Hey, man. You probably could have shot me and you didn't. I probably deserved to be shot and I wasn't. I probably could have been killed by 18 different people in your camp and you prevented that from happening. So I suppose I should thank you for being cool.
These people are my responsibility. I don't really make decisions for myself anymore. I make decisions for all of them, you know?
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
it's time to get out there. James,
if I could offer you a piece of advice,
please, always.
You should always be very careful about who you bring into your inner circle.
I don't know if you noticed how fast there were weapons on him as well as you. He wasn't in the inner circle.
Fair.
I only have the 2 eyes, but one of them was on him.
You could have 5 and they wouldn't be enough on him.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
No. He's not coming back from a lot of places.
That's your business, but I wish you luck.
Thanks.
So James is coming in. You might run into him on your way out. I don't know what you've heard, but he sees what I see. So you won't have to explain any of this to him. He'll just know.
All right. I suppose I owe you one.
No, if we ever need a shooter on a scavenger, I'll give you a call, okay?
Perfect.
And she kind of does a salute and heads out and literally switches places with her brother, who is an identical twin, also has, mutant purple hair, kind of matches your clothes, also dresses in white, but it has the scavenger stuff on, but his whites are not clean like hers.
Okay.
Come back from scavenging. So they're still dirty and he hasn't had a chance to clean out.
Anything good?
He looks around, reaches into a pocket, and he hands you a little micro disc. I saw you had a player.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what you think of the Spice Girls.
I mean, I have not heard too much of them on my own, but
is this something you want? Do you really, really want?
I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want.
And we will.
I wanna.
As he hangs out with James a little bit, and the other 4 of you, and for viewers who can count, well, I'm not going to make the obvious joke there. There is an invisible player tonight because the talented and amazing Danielle had things she had to deal with tonight, unavoidable. We miss her like always because she's an amazing cast member, but the
hopefully
equally amazing
kill her cast or kill her character.
Yeah, no, the equally amazing.
There are others. If we do, we got more.
It's true. Yeah, you get them wrapped. Yeah, it's like playing Paranoia, right?
We have the whole alphabet if there's more.
Yeah. Well, actually, okay, so because I have to be dad here and tell the facts, there are 5 unaccounted for. So in point of fact, there is a limit, and you do know which ones are missing. So point being, Jess is going to also play D for scenes where it's important for D. My other choice was to literally do this in some scenes, which is fine, but it's very like one-man Christmas Carol-y. And I was afraid of cringe, especially because I think I would not want my impression of Danielle playing D to be in any way a parody, but how the hell could the middle-aged, like, cis dude, like, it would just come off like I was teasing her, and I don't want to do that because I think the world of her. Tonight, special double guest, Jess has also D, but we'll make you aware when she's needed to do those. Otherwise, D is going to be kind of the background of every scene, doing just like automated, emotes and nodding a lot, and occasionally going neat, All right, so we have, we won't describe them again because if you need to know who these people are, if you're new, you could watch last week's stream, and we did describe everybody during that stream. So we have in the room is D, Navad, Wynona, and Alan 5. You are in the caravan within the caravan with your friend Bertram. And Bertram has just offered to help Ellen any way he can figure out to help. So you've been talking with Bertram a little bit. And I don't think any of you speaks Chinese, right?
I do not.
Okay.
Like as characters or as people?
As characters.
No, and also I don't.
So it was important to clarify why, Shannon?
It was. I mean, I thought maybe you just assumed that none of us. I mean, like, you know, if he lives in Los Angeles, maybe he's picked up some Chinese or something, or you know, whoever.
No. So there is a patois, sort of street patois, that's English, Chinese, and Russian.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fairly common kind of cyberpunk post-apocalyptic trope. So when you're talking like common street elements of that creep in and out, and we're not going to try as actors to do that. Just assume that if you were doing this as a movie or if you saw it written, occasionally we'd be throwing in terms from the other languages.
Sure.
The reason I asked in this case, though, is Bertram's primary language is actually full-on Chinese.
Okay. Well, what language packs does Alan 5 have?
You know what? I bet you he has Chinese.
All right.
I think to add that, there's a feed for languages, but considering Chinese is used for a lot of the tech stuff, it would make complete sense because of who he was dealing with for him to have Chinese. So you're actually able to talk to Bertram in Chinese.
All right.
And because you've been speaking the patois, you'll pick up little bits of what they're saying because it's partly woven back into the main language.
Sure.
But they're communicating their ideas a lot faster. They talk for a while, enough for us to have an aside scene with Erik. And he says, all right, I think I know the way. He goes over to one of his shelves and he pulls out some books. And he's got a box about this big hidden behind the books. And he takes it out and he opens it up and there's an eyeball and like a coil of like wires and little like nodes. They're probably some form of circuitry. I know. Do you know what a transer is?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Well, that would have appeared since he switches to the common, to the street language. Forgive me, I was asking about transers. I think, Erik, give me a landlore, which is also your like far-traveled bard stuff you know from being out on the road.
Sure.
Wynona, you could roll too, I think.
Am I even there though?
No, you're not.
Yeah,
So
Eric's not there.
Yeah, you automatically pass your have a drink with James. Roll your phone. Wynona should roll her.
Okay. And you said landlord, correct? Landlord.
Yep. And for some reason, I keep forgetting that a lot of your early background was wandering.
No.
You've not heard anything. He nods. It's not widespread. They are people. They used to call them, and you may have heard this term. Do you prefer the formal Alan 5 designation or the more familiar Alan?
I think I just go with Alan.
Alan. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't mean to be rude. You may have heard the term transhumanist. So at the time when you were born, there were transhumanists who believed in using technology to upgrade the body. It was a movement. Transer is based on that idea. Their central belief is that their credo is only the flesh has failed. So what they do is they collect cybernetics and they are trying to upgrade their flesh into what they believe is the next iteration of humankind. So a lot of them you'll see they wear twos on their heads and on their gear, which refers to humans version 2.
Mm.
They know a great deal about cybernetics and advanced technology, which was cutting edge even back then, and certainly hasn't advanced in the next century, because I mean, I can make simple printed circuits here chemically, but to make anything large scale or any advanced tech, there's no factories. So what I think maybe you should do is, I know of the existence of one of these transit communities, and they have been trying to trade with me for this. And he actually hands it to Alan. This is a prototype cybernetic eye. I've been examining it for about 6 months, and it's got all kinds of amazing upgrades. And more than that, because these are scientists and doctors. I believe they can get more than just this one piece. If it's traded to them, they could use it to extrapolate. They could reverse engineer. It's very valuable to them. I said I would help any way I could, and I believe what I can do is give this to you as a birthday gift. I believe it will give you entry to their community, and you might be able to trade it. If anyone would know how to repair an android body, it would be a cyberneticist or a very advanced roboticist. So I think you'll be able to find someone with the necessary skills there. I wish I could do it, but I know just enough to know how little I know, if that makes sense.
Yes.
The transers are insular and they're secretive. They protect their knowledge. They are driven by this vision, this idea that they can rise above apocalypse by becoming more than human. Their secrets. Again, I think the eye will get you in. Hell, for all I know, the fact that you are who and what you are might be enough. I would assume you'd be fascinating to them. But be careful. I mean, I've heard of things like they among them have something they call golems, which are humans that have upgraded by neurologically grafting themselves to power armor. So they are effectively, they're neither android nor cyborg. They are often killbots. And I've heard of these things showing up at a scavenge to take advanced tech from people. I mean, like any group of fixated fetishists or idealists, they are single-minded in pursuit of their goal. I mean, they see their own people slowly dying and know that if they can't find these secrets to upgrade themselves, to what they call uplift themselves, they won't survive more than a generation or two.
Interesting.
Miss Dr. Wynona? I have this, and he hands you literally a printout. He's actually got a printer. Here is a map. They live in something. It was once a museum called the World Dome. Brutalist architecture, concrete, very stark, was the style of the time. It's basically a big concrete pimple. It's a dome. It's some, according to the pictures I've seen, a fairly magnificent gallery space inside, but it's now a community and laboratories. So this is where you need to go.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I've always been interested in learning more about robotics, and animals are my it's just my passion. But I believe that, well, all living creatures deserve a shot. So
he ruffles Bork's hair. I couldn't agree more. And he takes his little round glasses and straightens them out. You should maybe collect your friend. He seemed, I couldn't tell if he was angry, sad, or both.
Yeah, I think he wanted some alone time, but I think it's been long enough.
All right, well, Alan, I wish you nothing but well and hope that they can mend your broken heart.
Yes. I do too.
Produces a very dry dog biscuit for Bork. Responds with a very enthusiastic Bork. And the group heads outside, and you see Erik having a beer with James. And these are not old, potentially skunky, poisonous, toxic beers, although honestly, the goblin wouldn't matter to you. It probably would matter. You think Jesse and James are very close to being pure, but they're obviously the purple hair is not dyed, it's a mutation. So you think they're only slightly mutated. So they're, they're like off-white. They're almost. And the one major mutation they have is that mind sharing thing they do. And but the bottle they hand you is like home bottle. You just got the stopper thing on the top. So they know someone that's literally running a brewery. It's not bad. Your group emerges from the caravan. Ellen's putting a box in one of the pockets on the clothes he's wearing.
Hey, bud. How's it going?
I am drunk.
D says, yeah, you are.
That's probably for the best. So let's just call it drunk for now. How are you?
James turns and says, did you come to collect your friend here?
Yeah, it's time to go.
So we're going to pull back the camera and have the group escort Erik out of the camp and over to the truck. And you climb in. And it's the same as before, right? So you're going to have Wynona driving, Navad, shotgun, everyone else in back.
Yeah, I think Erik, Alan, and D would be in the back, right?
I'm going to search you with good karma. And you're going to head out. So looking at the map, so do you hand the map to Navad so you can drive and he can...
I do, yes.
Okay. So you would talk before you start driving, obviously. No need for a roll. A roll is good enough that when you talk together, you figured out your route.
Yes.
It is, let me give you the right number here. 2 days north when you're driving, so not too far away actually, is this World Dome. They explained to Erik what they learned, that it's a big concrete museum and that there's basically tech fetishists living in it trying to improve themselves with technology. All right, off you go.
Yeah.
I am going to need a roll of 3 6-sided dice from Shannon, please.
3 6-sided dice.
Ooh.
Just total them up and give me the number. High is good, low is bad.
Okay, I got a 3, a 3, and a 4, so that is a total of 10.
That is so super middling.
That's
But
exactly right in the middle statistically of what I could get.
for sure, that means day 1 passes without event. And you're going to stop, go to the side of the road. Will you unpack tents, or are you going to drive enough to find like a structure to spend the night in?
Wynona?
Well, if there's
What
a
do you
good
think?
structure, then I
Okay.
think,
So Jess, give me 3 6-sided dice, add them together. High is good, low is bad.
10.
Okay. There are structures, but there's structurally not sweet, so maybe a little dangerous. So you might be better off just throwing up the tent,
Yeah.
and possibly even somebody sleeping in the cab of the truck. So you do that, and then you're going to sleep the night. Mike, 3d6, add them up. High is good, low is bad.
10, 4, 3, 3.
Boy, you guys are right down the middle. It's great. You wake up, get back in the truck. This is like the very important for pacing the boring parts of Lord of the Rings. And then they camped on the great plains where the war was once fought, and there were berries. Not a lot going on. So you're driving the second day. Ify, let me have 3d6. Add them up. High is good, low is bad.
Give me something better than 10.
Please better than 10.
Oh my gosh. 7. That's not better than 10, Die. That's not better than 10.
Okay, Wynona, I need a d6. High is good, low is bad.
Just one? Okay. 6!
So what happens during that day as you're driving? You drive into about mid to late afternoon. You're starting to worry that maybe you're off on the map and it's going to require another night's sleep. So you're like kind of watching for dusk. And you hit an area of potholes and unstable terrain. But I'm not even going to have you roll a driving roll. You rolled a freaking 6. So you hit an area that's dangerous and you really just get off the road. And you end up driving on the siding, and you avoid, like, the concrete there it's got those drops in it. And after a couple of those, of just giving way under the truck, you're like, we don't have B anymore, so we don't really have a mechanic. So if we bottom out and lose like our transaxle, we're done. That's that. We won. So you get off the road, no problem. And it takes a little longer. So that means around where it's still dusk, like movie terms, it's magic hour. So it's still like that sexy kind of getting dark. Everything's not in shadow yet, but just enough shadow to make it look better.
Mhm.
And
Basically like our background right now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or my life, gothing up for you.
Life.
Erik, you're
Yes.
up top as always. Let me have a notice check, please.
Yes, I noticed several times.
That means you notice that there are several drones overhead. And they're staying at a bit of a distance. You rolled really well, so you spot them. So that gives you the additional information that whoever's controlling them, or if they're self-guided, their program is advanced enough to know kind of what your sight lines are. So they're lurking, right? And if you weren't Erik and really good at like picking out things that you could potentially shoot and kill, you might not have noticed them.
So I'm going to rap on the top of the car. Hey, there's some drones up ahead, above us right now. They're following us. They're here to make sure.
Wow. Such technology.
At this point, I think when we see him hammering on the roof, there's like a bald spot where you've worn through the paint. And there's like
No
the place
paint,
Erik
yeah.
knocks on the. So Wynona, you keep driving up?
Yeah, I think well, that just means we're getting close, so I think we should just keep going. What do y'all think?
Sounds good to me. I just wanted to be on alert.
Thank you.
So I recently did a road trip with a friend of mine who's another aging storyteller, a couple of old guys on the road. And we did a bunch of like roadside attraction things because those are the absolute best, because they're the absolute worst. And one of the ones we saw was a couple had built a pyramid. It was literally a pyramid that at one point had a gold finish, but it's the kind of thing where it had ended up in a residential neighborhood. If you knew where it was, you took a look to the right and you'd go, house, fucking pyramid. And it had like a 25-foot tall, like Osiris statue and a pyramid. And you could have absolutely missed it. But if you were like following your Atlas Obscura, or just kind of like all of Nuked, I think, is set in a world where Atlas Obscura is the dominant vibe. This sort of does that. You're like driving through standard wastes, and then you look like Wynona's, he's probably saying, because you've got that relationship between you and Navad set up where you're like, have you looked out the window? You know, that kind of thing. And Navad, one time she does that, you look out, and suddenly, almost like out of nowhere, there is a big concrete dome, like the size of a high school. And it's surrounded by, at a distance, a barbed wire fence with several guard towers. And the guard towers have work lights pointed both out and on the dome, which means kind of Vegas style. You know, in Vegas, how you drive into certain areas and suddenly it's like, oh, it's kind of run down, but the people seem nice and the food off strip is better than the food on strip. And what the fuck, the Eiffel Tower? Like that, that's Vegas to me. That happens to you. Like you're driving, massive structure. What do you do? I mean, I can assume, but I'm honor bound to ask.
I guess this is it.
I think we're here.
I think we're here.
We should probably stop.
Yes, I am.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, I'm banging.
So it's off a side road. So literally at some point, this was literally the kind of thing you get on the interstate and be a local attraction. So it was the World Dome. It was this, you know, high-end, like pretentious art gallery. And it would have had like a street sign, the, you know, turn here kind of thing. So you pull off, and as you're approaching, you can see that there is maybe like 2 dozen drones in the air around it. So as you're coming up, like again, expensive effect shot, you've got the big building out of nowhere, and then like this kind of cloud of observer drones. And you can see even from this distance that there is a gate in the barbed wire fence. There's a little gate house on the barbed wire fence. There are people with guns in the 4 guard towers. And the 4 guard towers are kind of set up like the guard towers at a penitentiary. So they've got firing positions. So the place is very well defended. The other thing you can see also from this distance is there are 2 of those golem things, which are people that have been implanted into power suits, standing guard at the, so further back, hey, look, I'm an airplane attendant, standing back in front of the museum. So they're big things. They both have 2s on the chest. And so, Wynona, you're going to pull up to the gate?
I think I'm going to just stop here.
Okay.
I know that they're very highly protective, but we have the magic eyeball. So we need to be very careful on how we approach.
So for those of you, which I think, did all of you do the mission? I mean, other than Alan, of course. Did you all do the mission with Tiberfang?
Yeah, we were all on. Well, Wynona joined for the second half of that.
Okay. So because, partially because you had the passcodes, all right, you became a colonel.
She's the colonel, right?
Yes, she's the colonel.
She's got implants that she has a military rank.
Right. Because it was half ruined and you had the passcodes, that wasn't as dangerous as you thought. But this is clearly active and is not ruined at all. So your immediate reaction to the defenses here is, this looks tougher if you're attacking or trying to infiltrate than the actual military base was. Mm-hmm. Like this is very, and this is like, again, I am a graybeard, I can't help it. This has got a very Escape to Witch Mountain vibe, where, you know, during the era of evil government, where all the enemies were always some renegade sector of the US, you know, it was fantasy, right? Because that never happened. But there were a lot of shots like this of high-end, like, technology thing. So you stop the car, and you see 4 of the drones come down. 2 of them, which are at a little more of a distance that Erik would be tracking, are clearly weaponized. So you think there are guns or rockets on those, but the other 2 are very similar to the Jeepers was. they've got cameras and transmitters. So you are definitely being watched and escorted from a distance.
So where I would normally have Karen out and scoping from the back, I'm going to slide her back into the shoulder holster.
Okay. You're doing the equivalent of,
Yeah.
We are friends. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And it's clear also, those of you more martially oriented, which would certainly be, where Erik's coming from. Like those two drones, they're the Erik drones. They're staying at far range, which is optimal for the weapons on them. So they're doing the, we got you, for the other drones. So you're going to walk up to the guard position. So I'm going to talk mostly to Wynona here because I assume she's in the lead, or is that not the case?
No, I think she's in charge.
Sure.
Okay.
We're gonna walk up and we're just gonna hold that eyeball out.
You're walking up like this.
Cameras can see it. The little drones.
So, Alan, are you doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alan, you're literally an android holding a cybernetic eye, like an offering.
And we're all walking behind Alan.
And
he's like a ring bearer in like a really weird wedding.
Yeah, it's true. So the two towers closest to you flip on. They've got lights very much like in a prison. For all you know, they were stolen from one because they have the tracking kind of lights, the tight beam. Not quite spotlights, that they would have Fresnel lenses, but they're going to track those lights on you, so you're very much visible to anything with like Erik. This isn't quite the scene from Predator with like 12 targeting dots,
right?
But strategically, it's absolutely what it is.
Are they gobos? Are they projecting any sort of image onto us?
No, they're not. I mean, I love that idea, and I also love the idea that Erik would be like, I'd make that a target, like in your brain,
Yeah.
Okay, so you walk up, and somebody gets out of the little guardhouse, and they're going to be standing as you arrive just on the other side of the gates. The gate is not open. No one has come out, but there's somebody who's come out to speak to you. The person that has come out, I have notes for all of this. I just have to read them. Okay. Feller, about 5'8", maybe a little taller, wearing reflective combat armor. So the plasteel stuff, which is very expensive, and it's been laminated with the stuff that's good against energy weapons. Again, very high tech, very experimental, hard to find. The pistol at his side, not even Erik would recognize it right off at range. So do you know what like Professor Grodbort's is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's I think I'm saying it right. It's somebody in the streaming chat might know. Grodbort's, I think I'm saying it right. I think it's a guy from What a Workshop that makes steampunk guns. And he sells them for like $8 billion each, but they're all works of art. But they all tend to be that retro future, like bulbous thing, like the squirt guns from the 60s. You know, it's one of those guns. So Erik, if you had to guess, plasma pistol?
Okay.
So, I don't know what kind of like techno lust you have or weapons lust, but that is a rare and expensive thing at his time.
Okay, so I kind of sidle up to Wynona and just say, that gun is very serious business.
Just gonna play it cool, all right? Be on your best behavior. Lord Navad, put your magic away just for 1 second, okay? Just try to act like, calm.
I'm not doing anything.
D leads in to Navad. Navad, our new friend's chest is smoking. Is that okay?
Oh, no. Alan? So I look over and like Alan has smoke.
There's little wisps of smoke. So it'll be coming from underneath the burger place outfit thing he's got on. So a little wisp of smoke coming.
Okay. Wynona. Dee just told me, now I'm telling you, look look at Alan. He's like smoking.
Okay.
Like not smoking hot, like he's like maybe on fire.
But he's also smoking hot too. My point is, I smelled the smoke. Is that what I smell? Okay. All
We'd
right.
have to have a glamour shot of whatever actor we're playing Alan. Let's just make that actor Ify.
Yeah,
And
it's iffy.
we're going up close and seeing his majestic tightness and kind of doing that like the shot they usually reserved for women in horror films, where you do the top to bottom, like there's no reason any camera shot would ever be like done like that. So we're going to go ahead and sexualize the android.
I'm sorry. I have two eyes and I noticed, okay? He's very good looking. I try not to, just think about that kind of stuff because I'm being super positive. But anyway, I think that he's getting worse and we just need help ASAP. So should we just start yelling?
Well, he's just literally waiting for you. You gonna walk up on him, Wynona?
Yes.
Okay, and he's Alan's walking, I'm assuming beside you, holding out the eyeball like, I got an eyeball. Ify, you don't have like a jawbreaker, a big like.
That's what I was looking around for. Hold on.
Some sort of round item the size of an android's eyeball.
If you have a 30-sided die or a Zaki hedron, you have both my respect and the perfect prop. Points if you would know what a damn Zaki hedron is, by the way. So Wynona, as you're approaching, you see the gentleman, his left hand is cybernetic, and he's wearing wraparound goggles, and the goggles are wired into his optic nerve. So he's got literally a jack that's connected to this. So you see there's it's probably showing images to him. So this is a really teched up guy on a level I don't think you guys have run into.
Find it. I had like one of those orange balls for when you like relax your muscles, but
yeah, with little
let's
spiky.
do this.
Oh no, that's perfect. So he clears his throat a little bit.
What was that?
Good day.
Oh, good. Hello. I am Dr. Wynona Thatalila, and this is my friend Alan 5.
So he's the first person who probably speaks Spanish, who chuckles when you say your full name. Huh. Alan, at this point, it clicks what he's looking at, because we'll do a shot where we can see the little bit of the seams on his body and the smoke coming underneath like the Good Burger outfit he's wearing. And you can't see his eyes widen, but you get the impression that they did.
Our friend needs help, and as you can see, he's got an eyeball from our friend Bertram. Is there anything you can do for him? I don't think he has much time.
I personally don't know Bertram. I'm Captain Dyson, by the way.
Oh, hi.
I'm Watch Commander. It's up to me to decide who gets in. We're generally not at home to visitors.
Understood.
Oh, so you are wanting to trade the eye for medical assistance?
Yes.
So he literally does this, like in Star Trek. You see on his armor, there's a little shiny spot, and he touches a stud and says, you hear it. So he's got some kind of microphone built into what he's wearing. This is Dyson front. Anyone know Bertram or Professor or Dr. Bertram? And you hear a little bit from the side of his goggles, which obviously have a transponder in them. You're kind of a, all right, I'll bring him in. I want 5. So what you're hearing is very much like a CB radio almost, right? Well, apparently Bertram is known here. So your friend, sir, we're going to ask you to just keep the gun in its holder, please. All right. Yeah, it's clear, and he points to where you're smoking. It's probably the first time that you've noticed that you are in fact smoking.
Wow.
Yeah, it's obviously that you clearly have need. All right, open. There's a beep beep from one of the towers. It's a click from the door. A little bit of the yellow cycling lights, and the doors swing open. He walks you over. So Dr. Wynona and Alan, and I'm D. I don't think I'm on your list though. All right, D, and you, sir, points to Nevada.
He's using his magic.
I'm Lord Navad.
Lord of what, sir?
It's just part of my name.
Yeah, if you use that in there, you're going to need to be able to back that up or substantiate it somehow. It might be easier just to say Navad.
Okay.
But we need to know what we're dealing with. And if you're the lord of a principality that's not allied to us, you probably have to wait out here.
Oh, I got you.
Navad, I said be calm. Remember, just
Okay. I'll just go by Navad.
D actually gives you a little bit of a hug to make you more calm, not fully understanding the proper uses of hugs.
Like too tight? Like what kind of hug
Oh,
is this?
no, I'm just not sure a side hug from a woman that's clearly into you would, to the 17-year-old, be like the best settled down
Yeah,
medicine.
no, it's super confusing.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
And you, sir, points to Erik.
I'm Erik. There's a lot of people named Erik.
He grins.
Just over the course of time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not talking about taxonomy, but all right, fair enough. Come on. He walks you up to the two golems. So are any of you particularly into
Our characters or ourselves?
characters?
Into technology?
Big knowledge. Like walking up to these things, are any of you like, these are, relatively speaking, badass? Like you've not really seen this kind of thing effectively in the hands of anyone actually able to use them.
Are they're like mechs, right?
They're like small mechs, so they're like 8 feet with like a human head at the top.
They are two mechs what a personal pan pizza is to a pizza.
If you're a Doctor Who person, number one, you raise in my estimation. Two, there's a mech that Greg Davies was the head of.
Yeah, it's they're what are they called? They're nothing but war.
Yeah, he was like he was an emperor of war.
Yeah,
a battle suit built, and then his head and a frisbee, and they put it on them. They look like that. Just a big war machine with like a dude up there.
I mean, yeah, Navad's kind of into it, not necessarily like just as like a curio more than anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't want to learn this stuff, but it's cool.
And so, Alan, you've never seen anything like this. You would have seen some robots, like there were little ones that helped out around the lab. Out here in the waste since you woke up, you maybe ran into what the group ran into here and there, like a damaged, partially functional security robot, or like a drone. But something like this, which before the fall would have been almost exclusively military, you've never seen anything like. Nicola, and the one on the left nods. Escort them into the waiting area, please. And the captain turns to you. We the dome is run by something we call the committee. The committee is our most prestigious scientists and doctors, the ones that are working to uplift us so that we can rise above the fall. One of those, we've called ahead. One of the committee will meet with you, and they'll meet with you in the waiting area. I need to go back to my position. Turns to Alan. It was a privilege to meet you, sir.
It was a privilege to meet you as well.
He nods and heads back to his position. The golem turns around. Lots of like the kind of like not super gracefully built, the kind of almost steampunk mechs that make a lot of like the load lifters from Aliens, make a lot of hydraulic noises and big. The walking is ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Like these are not like agile Ghost in the Shell kind of things. These are big, chunky battle bots. That was a great series, though, wasn't it? Big chunky battle. It was animated, right? So they let you in. Front door opens, and they lead you inside, and then off to a side room. As you go in, there's some very old pictures on the wall, which were ads over a century ago for various installations and exhibits at the museum. They just left up because they're kind of cool to look at, but irrelevant to what's currently going on here. So it's almost like walking into a theater and saying, oh, Taylor Negron did stand up here. So there's a whole row of that kind of thing. And they were very fond of like installation, performance art, things being balanced and other things that don't seem like they should have balanced, those kinds of things. As though I've described a category. And they bring you into an area, and it, back in the day, was like a waiting smoking area. People visit the museum. And Nicola turns to you. The committee member will be with you shortly. There are pretzels, crackers in a bowl. Take refreshment if you like. I'll be outside.
Snacks.
True to his word, there are pretzel crackers in a bowl. Do you need to have any side conversation? You just wait for the guy to come get you.
This is pretty ritzy, you guys.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So, if there's one thing that I have learned in my time on this planet, it is that the ritzier things are, the more suspicious you should be of them. So I feel like we should just maybe make sure that we are looking around and keeping ourselves sane. And that having been said, I'm going to eat a handful of these crackers because I am hungry.
They're very dry, but they're all right. They even got some salt and the whole nine. Super ritzy. They got pretzels.
So I've had both pretzels and beer in the last 3 days. This is like the greatest week of my life.
Absolutely true. Navad, make a sensitivity check.
I was literally going to say, do I need to do that? Am I down? What am I doing?
This is the one that you're up. This is the magic.
Oh, so I'm sensing for magic. So is that
up two?
Up 2 dice.
And the sensitivity feed is up 2 or down 1.
Right.
So you're doing at +2.
I got it. I got a 6.
You know the term wet drumhead?
Wet drumhead?
Yeah. Where if you have a wet drumhead and you start drumming, it goes like doo, 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 instead of making drum noises. The magic here is like a wet drumhead.
Oh, okay. I don't. Wow. This is a new term for me, a person, and now I'm like trying to understand what that means in terms of magic.
I'll go ahead and I'm going to lean on Lord of the Rings here. It's like too much. It's too little butter spread over too much toast.
Okay.
When in doubt, go Tolkien, right?
Just go with the Tolkien.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're getting that feeling.
It's just a little.
It's just not a lot there.
Nothing there. Okay, or not much. Okay,
No.
gotcha. Cool.
You wait maybe 15 minutes, and a man shows up wearing lab coat, and it's a lab coat that was manufactured back in the day, so it's got some repairs, some stains, but it's still pretty much one lab coat. Older man, hairless, covered in pale blue circuitry tattoos that glow and have things wired to them. He has a data pad in his right wrist, and that has a wire that's stuck in that same kind of data port the other guy had. When he speaks, his voice comes out through a vocoder and has a little bit of a digital echo. So again, just tacked right up, foot to head, up the button beyond. He is fully.
My guess is like this is just like a level of modification that is a little on the freaky side. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is like when you go out and you see somebody who's like literally tattooed their whole face blue or whatever.
Yes.
Like,
Yes,
like,
cybernetics existed before the fall, but they were mostly medical.
okay.
There was some stuff where they were experimenting with more advanced stuff, but it was rare. Like these days, you'll occasionally see somebody with those like kind of neat jumping legs as a prosthetic, but they're rare, right? It's not, oh my God, what's that? It's like, oh, you have.
I've seen that in a magazine or a commercial,
right. But
now here I'm seeing it in real life.
Seeing a guy like this though, it's like having at least like a dozen of that kind of thing, like all at once. Like this is pretty hard. All of this stuff is hard.
Does he look like a living Nintendo Power Glove?
And Mike gets the 1 point for the reference. Yes, in fact, he looks like a living Nintendo phone.
Perfect.
You'll have to pretend, unless Colt is incredibly agile, that I have the digital double tone echo on my voice. Not expected, buddy, but you know.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Okay, fair enough. It just means that the pretend world is more advanced than we are, which is fine. I hope you didn't have to wait long.
No. We enjoyed the pretzels.
The pretzels were yummy.
They were all right.
You have taste?
The only way that I can accurately describe the way that I taste things is probably the most eloquent way I've heard it described. It's like tasting things through a condom.
That just
Like I know it's there, but you know, it's a little distant, and it's not until I get real comfortable with you that maybe we take another step, and then I'll take the condom off.
And then taste properly.
Taste proper. Yes.
Do you mind if I sit? I'm not as young as I used to be.
Of course.
I am Professor Babbage. I have been sent from the committee to speak with you. I understand that you have a proposal for us.
Yes, I do. And I open up my chest again.
Looks like you would need power supply replacement. Are you experiencing hiccups in short-term memory or speech?
What?
Yes, we'll make it a yes. So it sounds like light neural damage as a result of your overheating. We may have the parts required for such a thing. So they told me that you had something to trade. An 819. Amazing. May I ask where you got such a thing?
From a friend.
Did you kill this friend?
No,
Oh, so it wasn't his eye.
no.
Oh, forgive my presumption, please. So you would trade this device for what amounts to medical attention?
Yes.
I will need to step off for a moment to relay information to the other members of the committee, and then hopefully I will take you into the laboratories and we can proceed. Yes?
Okay.
And you can tell he's doing other things while he's talking, because you see light working its way around his circuitry to various little tech modules on him. You think he might even be communicating while he's talking to you. So he gets up, nods, heads out, closes the door. You hear him say something to the guy in the power armor, but you can't quite hear it through the door. Again, you just wait, or do you have anything to say to each other?
They do everything by committee here. That's interesting to me.
Yes. So
We kind of do things by committee.
I know, but we're not so formal. And we don't have a lot of wires everywhere. No, I mean, no offense, Alan.
no, it's okay. I understand.
Shit's
Wires are inorganic.
No, they're very beautiful. They're very Navad,
Yeah.
say something. Just
Oh,
say anything.
Next time he comes in, I'm going to see if I can read his mind.
Okay.
Wynona, give me a notice check, please.
Oh, that's D. Sorry. Let me get to mine. You said a notice? Okay.
Yes, please.
5. I got partial.
So partial. So go ahead and give me a medicine roll.
Yes. Success.
He's not looking super great to you. He's pale and a little green around the gills. So if you didn't know better, you'd think hungover.
Who, Navad? Me?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, Navad. Oh, hey, you've been drinking, have you?
Ha!
No, I ate some pretzels.
You ate pretzels? Erik ate pretzels as well, though, and he looks fine.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, I look green, but yeah.
Erik can eat anything.
That's true. He can eat anything.
Not as much as the captain.
No,
The
I mean he can't eat metal cans.
Yeah, the pirate could eat cans.
Captain Tana could eat.
Amazing.
I would like to meet this pirate individual.
Oh, that's right. You didn't do. Erik did not do that episode, did you?
Oh,
Erik and Tana would get along like
She got like a bag of ninja stars, like Cheetos.
yeah. She was amazing. We will encounter her again. I'm sure.
Anyway,
Okay.
so I look sick. I ate pretzels.
Let me feel your forehead.
no, a little clammy actually.
Okay. Sit down.
Door opens. Press comes back in. They said they're willing to examine you in the labs. If you will accompany me, please.
Hey, is he going by himself, or can one of us go with
Yeah, I'm afraid we're gonna have to insist that we go along.
Yeah.
No need for insisting. You are all absolutely welcome.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I will, of course, bring my friend. And he points to Nicole. I am making a joke. Come this way. Okay, so he and the big power armor golem guy, he heads down, and there's clearly, this is built like, again, a museum or a theater. So there's the area where to the sides would have been like, like a booth to get gift shop. There you go. Thank you, Brain. Exit through the gift shop, that kind of thing would have been off to your right. He doesn't take you right into what would have been the main gallery space. He takes you left, going kind of around the dome. So we're not going, we are both laboratory and research facility, but we're also a settlement, and our the newborn. They live in the settlement. We're just through there. And he points to the wall, the other side of which would be the heart of the gallery. And we don't have time or facility to clear all of you to enter the settlement. So we take you directly to the lab. And that's all a walk and talk, a Sorkin-esque walk and talk. And you're going to go around the side. In the back was where the conservation area of the gallery was, where they would conserve, do maintenance and repair of existing exhibits and load in new ones. Hell, you worked in a place a lot like this, Shannon, where the back area, there was something being fucking built in a flat that looked like a hat or something for no good reason. Like, it's that, but huge.
Yeah, okay.
It's also got a terrace of 3 galleries, so not gallery, and that's a gallery definition B. So it's got like the 3 levels. And you see that there are a couple dozen people working on various things. In the large open area, there is a massive generator of some sort. It kind of looks like a massive, use the word massive twice, a large digraph generator. So it's like a big plasma ball looking thing. It's weird sciencing away. And there is a spider web of cabling going out to dozens of experiments and machines all over this area. So this is like, you walk in and basically the area just screams science at you. And a lot of so when you're looking at people, almost everyone here is wearing like those foil blankets, except parka with a hood. And they're wearing those and they belt them. So they're a little bit like the underground people in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. So they've got kind of or the crew in Black Hole. You kind of really don't see their faces much. And you get glimpses of their faces. And you realize one of the reasons that they're wearing this stuff is they're all kind of wildly and differently cyborg. So this is a little bit of like the Borg feel to them. And unlike the people that are like the leaders, it's like a your mileage may vary situation. So some of you look and you're like, oh shit, somebody like put a spigot on the side of your head and your nose is metal, but one of your eyes is gone. And so they're just like all kinds of almost seemingly random, but obviously really experimental attempts at upgrades in cybernetics. So they feel a little more locky as you see the people that aren't the leaders working around. And they're all a little hunched over. So there's a lot of that feel. And the leaders are all people in the lab coats. And the quality of their cybernetics are higher. You're let in, and who's got the highest? Yeah, somebody's got. Oh, I think that might have been
Erik.
It's fine.
So good.
So who's got the highest notice check?
A screaming child in the background. So that's what's going on.
No, that's totally.
I got you, man.
It happens.
Hey, can I want to, like, as we're going by, Nevada's gonna kind of like just try to get a read of like how much independent will these guys have.
Sure.
Like not the leaders but the individuals. Like I want to know if they've been like, if they feel like,
so you're gonna try a read?
Yeah, just like if they're fully sentient or if they're like kind of like, it's giving me weird vibes. I want to check it out.
Give me a test. 2 dice down.
2 dice down. Oh boy. Boy.
You may either take an injury and proceed, or decide fuck it and don't continue.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
This is 2 dice down is not. It's only 2 dice then for me.
Do you want to blow the good karma?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I'm more curious than feel like it's a necessity.
Make
So
an endurance save for me.
make an endurance save.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Got that.
Okay.
Got a 6.
You're walking. So I think Wynona and Alan are up front. Erik, are you maybe at the back, like kind of on guard? Okay, so that would
Yes, that was my experience. That was my idea.
that would mean Navad and D are in the middle.
Yeah, Devandi, Wynona's up there with Alan. Yep. Okay.
So D turns to you. Are you okay?
Me?
Yeah, your eyes just went kind of purple, and you smell real bad.
You guys are always making fun of me for smelling bad.
Oh no, I'm sorry. She sets her hand on your chest. I didn't mean anything. I thought it was magic or something because you always you kind of smell like trees.
Like a tree?
Well, there's that stuff you put on yourself. It smells like trees or the smoking, like tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not only that. This is like if you pooped a tire.
I don't know. I don't smell anything. I feel fine.
Or are you using different stuff?
I'm using
Did
the
you
same
change-
stuff as I normally do.
Oh, maybe it's spoiled.
I don't know.
I've got some perfume.
Okay.
Okay. She spritzes you. Oh, now you smell like flowers and poop tires.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Okay, I'll go back to being an NPC now. So the group is led around. The guy you're with stops and has very brief conversation with a couple of the people. It's clear that he's essentially management here. So they're like, we need to prove first. We're doing a materials test. He's like, set the transducer to program H. He's basically giving directions to people as he goes. And he leads you up to the second level and over. So Wynona, Wynona and Erik both make notice checks, please.
Me too.
I got it.
Yeah.
You both notice on the screen floor a smaller man, maybe 5'4" or 5'5". The biggest difference, you see them sticking out the bottom of the thing. It's a fairly uncommon mutation, but it's not unheard of. You've certainly met enough because the animal mutations are becoming more and more. People seem to be gradually mutating either goblin direction or like beast person direction. And then there's kind of the middle, which is like the tentacle ear people and the people that are 8 feet tall and have multicolored hair, but they're really
Or goblins with monkey arms.
or goblins with monkey arms, which are the best kind, by the way. But there's this person, and they are watching, but trying to not let on they're watching, but not good, and not letting on that they're watching Alan. So,
Erik,
little hoof dude over there, kind of watching Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Erik,
And
you
do
see
I notice as well, or
Make a notice check, 1 die down.
okay? Just got 2 partial successes.
You don't notice him, but you notice that Wynona and Erik are kind of looking at something.
Does something concern you?
Oh, yeah, over there.
You're being scoped out, my friend.
Huh.
So when you go and you point back, he's lost himself essentially in the crowd. Now you'll be watching for him. If he comes back, you did pick him out. You'll definitely see him again. But at the moment, he must have noticed one of you enough to have gone woof and like step behind something. So when you point them out to Alan, there's nothing to point to.
You sort of missed it, but I don't know. Also, Erik, do you smell that weird smell? I know I have a really keen sense of smell.
Dee says, it was me, I farted.
Oh, that's completely natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry.
Did you eat tires or something, girl?
I had spicy sausage.
Hmm.
Okay.
So I kind of drift back to Alan and kind of sotto voce just say like, hey, if this turns out bad and you're in a situation you'd rather not be in and you need a plug to be pulled, I want to give you that opportunity.
To be pulled.
Let's just say if there comes down to choices that you need to make and one of them is that you don't want to endure any longer, I will be happy to help you.
Are you offering to kill me?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'm already dying. So if we fail, that'll kind of take care of itself.
I meant sometimes there are worse things than dying.
Nope. Oh, are you referring to pain?
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can just cut the pain nodes and continue living in dire pain. No death needed, but thank you once again.
Happy to help.
Jess, I'm going to tag out. You're now D. If necessary, I'm Wynona. I really wish I had my ears. I literally just packed them today because I could have put them on and we could have tagged off. Awesome. So you're D. So this is now D. Awesome.
Oh my god. Danielle's never coming back. We're just swap in Jess all the time.
I just want to do a show where it's just Jess and I, and she has to be all of
Just
you.
to play everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
I want her to be me so badly, just for like 3 hours.
I got Karen. Do I need to take Karen? You think I should take Karen out?
Lovely. You are being escorted into a room. They've all got little signs. This one says neurotech. Lots of mysterious looking machines. I'm right on her right now, so none of you actually has the roles she does. She looks at a few of the machines and says, this is medical, but it's more than they taught me when I was just trying to fix up people like poor Bork here. Come on, you're a good boy, right? So she's walking around trying to figure out what this all is, and it's beyond her training. Another person in the lab coats enters. She's wearing the lab coat. Her flesh is roughly half metal, and it's not implanted. So it's like, is it rosacea where you've got just the discoloring of the skin? So like that, but those areas aren't discolored, they're just metal. So she's just partially been turned to metal somehow. She wears a translucent plasteel helmet studded with relays and lights. Good afternoon. I am Marie. I am a member of the committee. And she comes in and she closes the door behind her. And the golem is just outside, but she doesn't have the golem come in. So she has at least allowed herself to be vulnerable enough to be alone in the room with the 5 strangers. I understand we have a repair job ahead of us.
Yes.
Well, so the thing is, compassion is something that we have in abundance. What we have in less abundance is parts. The parts that you need. And Alan, was it?
Yes, it is.
As you might expect, like with, she somewhat patronizingly, maybe not intentionally, but patronizingly directs this to Erik. Like in a car, the engine is often the hardest to find in good condition and the most expensive part. So with Alan here, if his condition was explained properly to me, it sounds like we need to replace his engine. And while I believe we have the materials for that, they're very costly and precious to us. I have a proposal, however. And she turns to D. We have a communications set up here that's very rare in the wasted world. We are linked to one another. The committee cerebrally. Many others have transponders. So as you entered, I got a whole series of pings of people asking me to confirm that you were what you appear to be. Are you a pure, dear?
I am. Thank you so much for noticing.
You seemed pink and unspoiled.
Yes, guilty.
Ha. So the thing is here that I don't know if you've noticed, but we are all on a quest to transcend our fleshy origins, our flawed, our designs. Your friend here, she points to Alan, was literally designed. Someone sat down, most likely a committee. They decided what he'd look like. They decided how tall he'd be, how strong he'd be. Those of us born to flesh, those decisions were not consciously made. So we are very weak vessels for this new terrible world. You've probably seen the way in that we've been upgrading ourselves as much as we can to reach this level of transhumanism. The problem is we have several projects, one in particular, that require someone pure. Because experiments work very differently on someone who has been unmodified than they would over someone that's been serially modified. So what I can offer is, in exchange for the new engine for your friend and the new neural connections he'll need to fix what's apparently a problem with memory and speech processing. I'm assuming it's really leakage from his overheating that's caused some damage to his neural network. We have the materials, and we can fix that.
Oh, good.
We would like to have you test our neural upgrade nanites.
Oh, okay. So you test them on me.
Correct.
Oh, okay. And then if I pass the test, then Alan survives forever. You can 100% cure him.
I like surviving.
She goes over to one of the tables and reaches into a little fridge thing and pulls out a little, I forget what they're called, flask, science flask. They don't call them flasks, a thing like that. And she's got like the gun for like vaccinations kind of thing. And she holds up the little cartridge to you, and it has little floating bits of metal. Look a little like when you do the pharaoh, use ferrite and you make it dance with magnets. It's a little like that. Like, so they're kind of like living little blobs of metal. And she holds it up so you can see it. What we would do is I would inject these little guys into you. And it's a medicine. You would, for 3 days, need to eat something a little strange. You would need to eat with your food some metal filings. The reason for that is what these little things do is they're called nanites, which is kind of a science fiction term for what they really are, but it's easy for shorthand. And they're going to build little machines and circuitry in you, but they have to have something to build from. So I'd give you little packets of this powder. You'd eat them with whatever else you'd normally eat. And after 3 days, what they would do is they would strengthen your nervous system. If this works as we expect it to, your reaction time will be faster than an unmodified human, and your memory will be greatly improved, because a lot of the way your brain works is neural connections, and this process would strengthen all of these connections. So you'd be faster, and you'd be smarter, and you would learn faster and maintain information more reliably.
Can I ask you a question in private?
Of course. Come on, step outside. Do you mind if she? All right, so she takes you outside, and you're standing next to the big golem guy who just kind of nods.
So
Yes.
I'd be faster and smarter, but would my heart change at all? Would I still have the feelings I have for my friends and other people?
You'd be the same person, but your brain and nervous system, because your brain's part of your nervous system, would just work a little faster. So the only difference could possibly be elements of your relationships that might take weeks to develop might take less time, because you'd think faster.
Okay, then the answer is yes. Yes, 100 times yes.
She smiles, opens the door, leads you back in. You heard her say that through the door, because that was loud enough. That was pretty clear what was going on. Erik, give me a notice roll, please.
I got a nearly noticed.
Yeah. Your friend here, was it Dean? Oh, Dean.
Yeah.
So she has agreed to the test. We will take possession of the eye. We will begin the test, and we will take your friend Alan down to, I apologize for this, but it would be robotics, because that's the closest to what we have for what you need. And I would requisition the parts, then to pull from the other labs. We can begin. I mean, you're literally smoking. So we will start with putting on some heat buffers right now. And then very quickly, we need to swap out your reactor. Is that amenable to everyone?
Sounds good.
Yeah, can we split up and join them?
Erik, I think you should go with Alan, and me and Wynona will stay with D.
I think for now, I can begin the process. She seems eager to participate. I will inject the. I understand you're a doctor, yes? Yes, in fact, I am. So she's going to need a special medicine for the next 3 days. Oh, well, I'm used to giving medicine. That's fine. So there's small packets, and here's a flask, and she'll need, and she gives her some basic medical directions. Those packets are important, because otherwise you've got some metal in your blood, and if it has to resort to taking that from her bloodstream, she'll get very sick. But as long as she's consumed this powder, it will take what it needs from the stuff that we've given her. Make sense? Absolutely. Will she be all right? Yes, she will. So take a deep breath, and she loads. So no one objects. She loads the cartridge into the applicator. Asks you to roll up your sleeve. And then, yeah, does like the grade school injection. And then literally makes up like a little shake, like the anti-cold medicine powder that's got the little, she puts in a packet of the drink this, it'll get the little nanites started. I'm going to set up what you need. I'm going to leave you again. Nikolai will be right outside. I need to go prepare room in robotics. I will then come back and then you can split up as you said. That's completely fine. For the time being, I will, you should maybe sit and I will be back in 20 minutes to a half an hour.
Okay.
Wynona probably has a follow-up question that's medical, like any symptoms I should watch for, things like that. And the woman that you're with, who by the way tells you her name is Marie, Marie says because they will be, she may get a bit of a fever because this will be almost like she has a viral infection because that's what the nanites are doing. So she gets a little warm, don't worry. It just means it's working. If there's tingling, it means it's working. So she leaves, closes the door. You are now all alone.
How do you feel?
A little warm, a little tingly, but I feel great. I'm excited. I'm going to be smarter and stronger, and my relationships will excel quicker.
Alan, there's a panel along the ground on the floor. There's a lot of these in these places. There's like a panel with the 4 screws at the corners, and the screws come out. So somebody on the other side is unscrewing them, and the panel comes down. And there's one of these people with the foil hoods coming into the room through that little passage. You all see a person comes out and is doing this. Does anyone say anything?
Seems like they want me to shut up, so I'm just...
Gets out. He has hooves. Short man. Pulls back the hood. And he has what could best be described as ill-advised cybernetics. So it doesn't all match, and it looks just kind of like a mess. So like one eye kind of looks out. Have you ever seen, I think they're renamed the movie Hardware in the US? Very popular 80s sci-fi thing. It's about a guy that got like kind of a virus where machines kind of go in and out of him. If you know the reference, looks like that dude.
Do we recognize this to be the same dude as before?
It is the guy that was watching Alan.
So
Erik would pick up on that, right?
Yeah.
And Wynona?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can be
Hey.
Wynona again. I can tag you back up. You can see why I didn't want to have the GM make that call. That was the point where I was doing some writing this evening, where I was like, and they'll just rewrite these scenes. Oh,
Yeah, Mike was like, "Oh, there's a decision. We almost were going to let the stream decide if what D was going to do."
like you choose your own path.
Yeah.
Does D take the inject? So he says, addresses Alan. I've seen others like you before.
Really?
Others have come here.
And where have they went?
Their pieces are now worn by our people. An arm here, a leg there, a bit of a face.
Well, why are you warning me?
I disagree with many of those here. Look at me. This is not the way. This this is not the next step in anything. We believe, as the transers believe, that flesh has failed. But the next step isn't to cling to flesh, to alter flesh. It is to make way for what is next. You were made, not born. You are not to be worn by the failed flesh. You are what comes next.
Well, I value everyone the same, but you are correct. I do not want to be worn.
They will see you as pieces. They will use them in their desperate quest to upgrade themselves to survive extinction.
What about the serum that Dee took?
What did she take? I watched from outside. What did they do to you? So she talks actually to the doctor. You're tending her. What was done here?
Well, they gave her an injection. It had metal parts in it, and it's supposed to make her mentally agile, physically agile. Oh no.
So they've been working on this for decades. Did you see Marie?
Yes, she was just in here a second ago.
She was her own first test subject.
Okay.
Did you see her skin?
It was metal and.
That was the injection.
Ooh.
What she intended was to simply upgrade her nervous system, but they haven't got the nanites quite right yet. If it's perfected, your friend will be fine, because a metallized nervous system, like your friend here has, he who was made, not born, we are clumsily trying to rise above that and give us what he has already. So watch her closely. It may almost be better, and you'll need to make this call as it develops. If she starts to show symptoms in her flesh, you'll have to decide whether to let it ride its course or to let her starve and eat some of her own blood. It'll make her very sick, but it will kill the nanites.
Okay. She has to eat her own blood.
She won't have to do anything. We don't have much time. I can explain this. I know you have no reason to believe me, but my name is Albert. I think those here, this place, the transhumanists in general, they had a good idea. They saw the future for what it could be, or one version of what it could be, but it's become a cult to them, and they are fanatically single-minded. And and he just again turns to Alan. You need to get out of here.
Okay.
Oh, we need
How
to.
are we going to fix him?
We need to fix him. He's dying.
I have allies. We work with the transers, but they don't know that we are doing what we're doing. For example, one of the things I'm doing today is trying to save Alan. We have technology. We are of them, but our purposes are different. Our purposes are to help those like him, those that are the next step, to become healthy and thrive, to make way. We do think that, and forgive me, and she addresses Dee, the peers have failed, the humans have failed. You can clearly see there are very few peers left. Most of them have become green-skinned. They've become goblins and trolls that are adapted to the waste of land. They are a new species entirely. Those that have not gone that way, they have, I think saying devolved is a racist way to put it, but they've refound their bestial origins, as you have, Doctor. There'll be almost no humans left in another century or two. So it will be goblins, beast folk, and people like Alan. These people don't know to surrender. They don't know to go, there's a time to step aside because someone else won the vote. We should just concede. We should just let everything trade hands peacefully and move on together to a better future. It's a time of healing if we all finally work together.
Okay. I mean, I don't really know who to believe, but we got to save Alan, no matter what we do.
Thank you.
Of course, I wouldn't ever want you to not be alive.
I swear to you, Alan, I have heard kind words with a voice like yours through your face, exactly like yours. And later I saw that face in a coworker. I swear to whatever gods there are that I'm telling you the truth. And if you don't get out of here in the next 5 minutes, they're going to come back. My guess is they're going to fill this room with gas. They're going to take your friend here who's been injected and put her in one of the labs, wrap her onto a table, and continue with their experiments. They'll continue as far as they can with consent because they don't have to fight that. Can you fight? He points to Erik.
Yeah, I can fight.
The way I can show you is a slightly bigger panel than that. And I can give you a map. And you need to get out through the basement of this place. And I will send word to allies. If you can get back out, they will have a truck waiting for you. And they can take you to where my people are. They can replace what's breaking down on you. I can't promise you you won't encounter one of those golems.
Okay, let's go.
And he literally does the not quite a hug, but like do the thing where he grabs your upper arms. He looks in the eyes. Thank you for seeing my faith. Everybody make an insight roll. Let me know if anybody gets 2 successes. Dee wouldn't get a roll for this anyway. This is not the kind of detail she notices.
So I got 1 success and 1 partial. I got a 6 and a 5.
Yeah, so all I need is, did anybody get 2 6s?
I got exactly what Lord Navad got, of course.
Okay.
Me,
So anybody,
I'm always rolling the same.
you synced up, you work in the same office.
Yeah.
The way he relates to Alan is almost religious. Like he seems to hold him in like kind of a reference that doesn't seem to be entirely based on Alan's personality. Like he's only met him for like 4 or 5 sentences, but the way he's interacting with him is like he needs to get Jesus out of the Latin.
Yeah.
All right, so he is unscrewing one of the panels. Erik, give me a notice check. He says, I don't feel so great, so I'm going to be an NPC and I'm not going to interact for the rest of the session, but I'm going to walk around and be mostly immune to harm unless you TPK, okay?
Sounds great.
Perfect.
Well, that's convenient.
I have noticed whatever it is I'm about to notice.
The golem is about to check on you.
We ought to go. Now.
So you're going to try to A, distract him somehow, or B, super fast, everybody jump in the escape tunnel and go.
Yeah, why doesn't everybody jump in the tunnel? I'll try to distract him by firing over his head.
Okay. All right. So the group, I'm going to give you a no making any rolls if you expend your good karma, and you will all be in the tunnel. Otherwise, we can make some reaction rolls. What do you think?
I say let's use it.
That's all Satan needs. Okay. So everybody skitters into the passage except for Erik. He opens the door. and go ahead and you need to hit. So you're not actually trying to hit him, right? You're just trying to wang.
I'm just trying to. Yeah, I'm just trying to give him something to be distracted by.
If you and Karen can't do that without a roll again, you're fired. So you don't
Right.
need to roll. That is totally within Eric's, you shoot one enough to make him jump back. And you give them like a couple of seconds to get further on the road. Then you're going to just jump in and scoot. Okay. All right. You now have literally a small map on the back of a page ripped out of a textbook. So it's hard to read because it's got like red marks on a page that's got typed words on it. But it's literally, you said there's this tunnel, there's a hallway, and you go down. So who's going to be the one reading that map?
Bob, do you want to read it?
I suppose. Yeah, I feel like that's a Navad thing.
Okay. Oh, yeah. It's almost like a spell.
Yeah. I mean, I'm into all of the,
Yeah.
it's arcane markings on paper of some kind. That's my jam.
A page of stuff with runes on it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's leading the way. So is anyone not? No, you did. So we're going to go back to Shannon. 3d6, add them up. High is good, low is bad.
You got it. 9.
Okay. If he's got it. So Erik, we know you're leading up the back. The golem can't fit. So he's going to take a pot shot at you before you can get far enough down to take a turn. He's only going to get one shot. You're fast enough, and especially considering the way you normally shimmy up poles and whatever. Oh, actually, I forgot. We've decided you've got a war wound. I am going to invoke negative karma. Erik, who actually took a chunk out of his leg, House MD style, is crawling with speed down this tunnel. And he's probably cursing as he's dragging his wounded leg. And that makes him a little slower than he should be. Okay, so what this guy has, because he's not actually having to use normally portable shit, is he's got an auto gun. So it opens up with like the like very, and I got to set up a die cam. I rolled 2, 2, 1, 1, 4, 3. So I rolled 6 dice to attack and didn't even get a partial.
Wow.
So
that's some crappy rolling there, Mike.
It really is. But because I used the negative shit and he was going to have the one round, he can maybe get 2. So the deciding factor here is if Erik can make a reaction test.
All right.
This is your scurry down a tunnel like a spider monkey roll.
I have a nearly. I got a 5.
Okay, so that means I get a shot at you, but I'm going to actually take a couple of dice away. So as you're turning the corner, you hear again, and you kind of glance, and like the rounds for this thing are just tearing up that hall. Like it's kind of amazing. It's stormtrooper level of inaccuracy. He should have just blown you away.
Right.
I hit you.
Great.
No. Spoiler. Nah.
Yeah, I figured.
All right, and
Not great. Oh no.
Less than great.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite terms. Less than ideal. And your resistance against guns is a 4. Cool. And he gets all of those dice. Okay. Fortunately, it doesn't get actually extra damage, which you get an extra successes. So it's just normal dice. No 6s. So you're going to take 4 hits, which means you don't even get an injury. So you're clipped. So you're now around the corner. So whoever's next in line, which is probably Navad, Erik rounds the corner and he's clipped, but he's not even bleeding. And you're hearing again, and it would be the I think aliens the best job of that when they're firing, like in the exposed place, you get like the muzzle flash. So it's a very nice, like, flash, 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 you're calling the darkness. And the group is now engaged in a very unsexy shimmy and crawl at speed race.
Nice.
Yeah, Navad, roll 4 dice for me as a test.
Okay.
He's looking for 60.
Nope. No sixes.
Yeah.
I got a 5, but no sixes.
5 isn't it, so it's a test. That's a partial. So what that means is this is a montage of you following Navad's directions. And the near means, the partial means, he's going to get you where you want to go, but it's not going to be graceful.
We get guys, look, it should be this I think it's this way. It's got to be this way, like that one of those kind of deals.
Man,
Kid, terrible.
That's out an
Make up your
uncharacteristic
mind.
belch.
oh,
Erik, I need a notice check. No, actually, an awareness check.
awareness check. Yes, I am successful.
So I'm going to give you this brief description, then we're going to pause for the 5-minute bio break. You see the combat drone come around the corner.
Fuck everybody.
The golem might not fit in this tunnel, but those little drones with little guns on them do. So it comes
Oh
on the corner,
man.
heals, fuck everybody, and we're going to break. Give us 5 minutes, Colt. We'll be back in 3 to 5. Can I have the line again, Mike?
Fuck drone.
So you made your awareness check. And the difference between awareness and notice is awareness is like combat reflexes. It's, can you be surprised? Can you react quickly enough? That's what the difference is. You have done that, which means you are not surprised by the drone. It also means you can make a reaction save to shoot it before it launches its missile at you.
I would like to do that.
I bet you would.
And I am successful at doing that.
Okay, so now you have to hit it and kill it.
I would love to do that.
And a James Brown lyric. You gotta hit it and kill it.
You gotta hit it and kill it. Can I take it to the bridge at the same time?
The bridge.
Naval's going to come up and put a coat on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna take my
over the drone.
my robes off.
I have hit it.
Are you the hardest working gunman in the team?
I'm the hardest working monkey in show business.
Yeah, you hit it. So you're going to do your damage. It's got, against a bullet, it's got a 4.
4.
So you do 4 hits?
Yep.
Okay. So that is not enough to kill it.
Sons of bitches.
Would you like a reroll in exchange for the good karma?
I would love a reroll in exchange for the good karma.
Reroll that damage, sir. May the dead gods be with you.
Here comes that beautiful bean footage. That is much better. So I got 2 6s and 2 4s.
So that's 4 points and 6, that's 10. Reroll the 2 6s.
Nope.
Okay. Fortunately, it had 9 hit points.
Yes.
The thing about these drones is they have to be light enough, right, to be airborne. So it's if you hit it solidly, that's it. So it explodes, but not the same way an armed rocket would have exploded, because the downside is if you had failed, it wouldn't just hit you, it would blow up and go a couple people back. So because it's explosive ordnance. So you hit it. Navad, you hear fuck drone, then boom, boom. Flames and smoke come over Erik, and pieces of drone clattered onto the floor.
That's just I like hear a shout and then a couple of explosions and then metal flying around.
Yeah, it was like 4 seconds.
Right. Love it.
DS, is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Erik.
It's all right.
Karen she earned her pay today. So I'm going to need another one of those 3 6-sided dice added together from Shannon this time.
Okay. Add them together.
Yep.
10.
Nice, nice in the middle. Both curves are great that way. Okay, so that is the second of 5 segments. And then you're going for the third segment. So I'm going to need, Mike, you go ahead and give me that 3-die roll, please.
5.
Okay. Erik, this is going to be a notice check. Also Wynona, and give yourself the advantage for smell. Your mutant advantage.
Oh, just what is that Wynona's advantage? She's got a heightened sense of smell.
You got some fox girl smell,
I
man.
mean, she's a fox.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so 3 dice or die?
Well, you get like 1 extra die, I think, if it's
One.
smell.
Okay.
I don't recall, but sounds right.
Nothing. No.
Well, 3 dice, I thought you had a better notice than that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to notice? Okay, sorry. Let me redo that. Rewind.
No trouble at all, barely an inconvenience.
Good.
Yes, that'd be 6 dice.
Yes. Not just.
Actually, it's 7 dice. Your
Okay,
enhanced spell gives you 2 extra dice.
Oh, I got a 6, so we're good.
Okay, cool. So, Erik, did you get a success?
In the notice?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Something is coming. You hear sizzling. Wynona, you smell burning. And in both your cases, whatever it is coming towards you fast.
Think we better go. I smell burning.
Yeah, this is not good.
So, Nevada, you're the guy that's got the map.
Yes.
So we're going to make this unfortunately, it's survival. It's going to be landlore.
Landlore for
That's
me?
what you use for this kind of thing and tracking and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Terrible. Okay, here we go.
I like that he's like, okay, wait. You got it. Don't worry about it.
Oh! I got a 6.
Nice. If only you didn't have to roll that again.
Oh,
Okay, all right. You think you got me? Well, let's see. Oh, wait. What is that karma? That's like a
I was just revealing my demonic.
Okay, let's go. I got a partial.
Okay. What's happened is they've unleashed a flammable chemical agent. They've done the equivalent of pouring napalm down the corridor down which you're from.
Oh, man.
So what you have to do is find on your map a way to get above the level, because it's not going to flow up, and they're not filling it. It's not like The Shining, right? They didn't go this much napalm. They just went,
Right.
no, they're gradually going down. Let's just pour some napalm down there. So you have
Right.
to get them out. A partial means the 2 people in the back are going to have to make athletic. Let's see, that's going to be run. It's going to be run jump. So at the very back, we would have to start not in the very back, because the first person is to make it first. So Nevada, you have to make a run jump to climb past as you're giving the directions.
Okay. Oh,
Maybe
possibly.
you gotta.
what if you lit your face on fire first? Would that help? Do you think?
I don't think my head being on fire helps against napalm. It's just a party trick.
Yeah.
I got a 6.
So you make it. So you get up and out. So Erik,
Okay.
you need to make a run jump.
All right. I also got a 6 and 3 5s.
So literally, you've climbed up like this, and you see the rush of burning fluid going down the corridor.
Wow.
So we're even going to say it singes like the edge of your boot or something, because that was for the group kind of a near miss. You end up looking down at the burning tunnel.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they clearly would prefer that you not be alone.
Yeah, they're these guys are bad news.
So here's the problem. You're now off the guided part of the map. You have to get back to it. So that
Okay.
means they're going to 5 segments. You're going to have to go to 6.
Okay.
So I think the next person up is going to be Jess. 3 dice, add them up.
Oh, 3?
Yep. This is just random shit.
Oh.
High is good, low is bad.
I think Mike has a matrix of things that might happen.
I do.
10, of course.
Oh no!
Because the way
Oh no!
with bell curves is generally they're going to be like, 7 or lower, or like 15 or higher is a thing. In the middle, you continue on your way. So, Mike, give me one.
13.
Okay, go for 1. No, it's going to be 2 more. So, Ify, give me 1.
How many am I rolling again? Sorry, 4?
3 dice, add them
3.
together.
Okay. Oh, come on. You've boned me so many. Actually, you're fired.
Ify.
Hold on. Sorry, I got some dice firing and hiring to do. Ooh, see, that's why I hired y'all. 13.
Okay. And 1 more to get to the 6th segment, which will be Shannon.
Okay. 6th segment. Let's go. I got a 6.
Ugh.
Okay. All right. Based on what they know about you, you didn't give up a lot of goods, which is nice. There is a high-pitched whine, a very loud noise. I need a willpower save from Alan.
Ooh. Okay.
Roll those dice. You're looking for 6s.
Okay. Let's see. Looking for which box is my WP? Oh, I see it. No, I see it. Yeah.
Lower left.
My saving throws.
Yep.
Oh no, almost used a fire die. Ooh, all right. That's 2 successes and 1 partial.
So what the fleshy people can't hear is the sub-carry. So they're kind of trying to do the Independence Day trick. There's this sonic wave, this blast, and it's got programmatic viral transmission on that wave. So that hits you. The advantage for your companions is apparently they are now coming from the point of view of we're super high tech. We're assuming our opponents are super high tech. So we're going to use super high tech weapons. So most of you, it's just kind of an annoying noise. Maybe like Bork is a little scared. He doesn't like it. Unfortunately, Alan, it hurts you physically a bit. And if you'd failed your roll, it was trying to shut you down.
Ooh.
Like you were just powered down. But you do not, it does not virally shut you down, but you're aware that that's what was happening.
Okay.
Do you share any of that?
Yeah. It seems like someone is currently trying to shut me down.
What? How?
No.
By using a high-pitched signal.
So you've made your way through the 6 segments. You get down through the map, and now you're in the bottom. And this is a level that has side by side a sewer and then another tunnel to the side, and occasionally bridges over. And this tunnel was a place where they could run trucks to do some kinds of deliveries. The trucks would go down a very long corridor, so they could bring stuff in and do load-ins and not be going through the front door of the fucking place.
Yeah.
So this is the way he said was the way to go out, which is basically use the servants entrance that apparently they had just not even considered using and had just abandoned. But this other side had looked into it and found it there. So you come out from one of those panels and you see this big, long, open thing. I think there's Austin Powers. I think a lot of those movies, the bad guy base always has the long tunnels that they're running.
There's always a long tunnel that you
Yeah.
need, like a little flatbed golf
Logan's
cart
Right.
thing.
Logan's Run had it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of like movies that are a little more on target genre-wise, but I think you know what I mean. You're in one of those tunnels, and you continue on your way.
Right.
So the way you're moving, your marching order is roughly the same, right? Or is Erik more in front now?
Right.
No, I mean, I think I'd still be in the back.
Okay, just back, but making sure you can see both ways.
Yeah.
Not like so that you're not like you're not walking like sand people. Because you
No.
We're not a single file.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you continue a short distance. So that's 10 minutes. And you'll see that occasionally there's a little, like, I don't know if any of you have been in the New York or Chicago subways. They're the places where you can see the other track. And there's literally an island that only staff uses where there's gaps where you can go across instead of when you go up and go on top and come around. So you get like that. When you see the gaps, and you can spell them because the sewage is over there. But you see those gaps as you're going forward. So Erik, having fought any variety of terrible mutated things in sewers, I'm sure as you near each one, Karen is like,
Yes.
something jumps out, you're going to just make its brain explode. And then after like the 10-minute mark, you see up ahead, all of you, the silhouette, because of where the light is in the hallway. So it ends up being very dark. It's lit from behind. It is a suit of golem armor. I need everyone's initiative. So
Here we go.
behind you, that's speed, and that's all those dice added together. I'll start with Erik.
2, 34.
Okay, Navad,
I'm an 18.
Wynona,
I'm a 9.
Ooh.
Ellen Pod.
16.
D is sort of short-circuiting. So rather than going to combat mode, she's actually looks a little upset and peevish. So she's got that thing in combat where she falls back in her training and goes into combat mode. That switch is not flipping. So she's just D right now. So she'll occasionally be like, well, this is terrible, but she won't be fighting. Bork is at the ready in case anybody dares to attack Wynona, but he is not a battle pet currently, so he doesn't actually actively attack. Erik, you're first. There's a big, nasty suit of armor up ahead.
Well, I suppose I'm going to shoot it.
Okay, it is at it's at far when you start the combat. It's the third range category.
Yeah, that's good for me.
And to hit flesh instead of just the mass of it, to hit something vulnerable, you need to get 2 6s.
All right. Oh, wait, is short shot, do you add a dice at this point or is it after the fact?
I think you dropped. Hang on, I'm in the midst of locking all that down, so I'm going to make sure I'm not telling you an old version, because that would be lame. Sure shots. I should go ahead and be all retro and print this shit.
Whatever.
I can actually, no, you know what? You deserve that. Okay. So, sure shot. Success. All right. See, this is after the roll is made. If you get a partial success, you can elevate it. So if you get, in this case, if you get 1 6 and a partial, you'll get the 2 6s.
Oh, sweet.
See how close you get now.
All right. And that, my friend, is exactly what happened.
It was going to be a miss, and you elevate it with the sure shot because you're Aaron.
Yep.
All right, so you hit the thing. So its resistance is, its defense is 5.
Oh.
Wow.
All right, I got a 5 and a 6. Let me roll the 6 again.
Yep.
Nope. So 4, I guess.
Okay, because you rolled what, a 5 and a 6. That's
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
Because it's 1 for each one that hits it, and then the 3 kicker 5 points.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the thing you've not dealt with much before is things that have ablative armor. So the ablative armor has hit points that have to be chewed away before you hit the thing proper. So some of that suit is ablative, and you chew through 5 points of it. All right, next one up.
It's like Diva from the video game. You got to blow up the mech suit first before you can shoot her.
Yeah, or it's like Mass Effect. Like all of the Mass Effect enemies have ablative armor.
Navad, you're up.
I'm too far away, but I kind of pick up on what's going on with the armor from watching Erik shoot it.
Yep.
I'm gonna try to close in a little bit because I'm gonna try to like mess with the armor via spell as I get a little bit closer. So
That's gonna take your complex action this round.
Yeah.
So you will now be at near range to it, which is
Okay.
what you need for the next round.
For the next round. Okay.
Yep. So bravely, Navad is walking closer. Dee, despite the fact that she's basically in a drug-induced daze, walks with him because I think she would. Alan,
Yes.
you're up.
All right. So who is closest to me to get smashed on?
So Navad is physically closest to the creature, the guy. But the guy is using an auto gun, so he can shoot anything.
Okay. So for the first time, Alan is less like hesitant. He knows that everyone is in danger, so he leaps into action and tries to run towards the man and remove this gun, this dangerous gun.
Okay, so you're only going to get one range category closer each round. So
Okay.
you're beside Navad. So
Okay.
when you look over, maybe do you surprise Navad? D,
Okay.
who shouldn't be running in, and Alan, who usually doesn't, are right beside you.
Yeah, I'm definitely like, whoa, oh man, my guy Alan is like right here with me. What's going on?
Well, also he's got that like, who's the actor? Big like, doesn't like Jewish people, but he was a lot of fun.
Mel Gibson.
There you go. Like Mel Gibson run, but a lot less anti-Semitic. Like we do that kind of like mechanical, syncopated run. So I think, yeah, like Ellen makes it look effortless. So
Right.
he clunk, 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 he's right beside you.
Okay, wow.
Then we go.
I don't know how we got on Mel Gibson, but
I was thinking about running. I always think about the way Mel Gibson distinctive movie runs are him and Tom Cruise. Like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise is the full commitment. It's like the Will Ferrell of runs. Like we
Yeah.
put everything into it. You're like, I don't even care how I look. I'm running super fucking fast, right? Whereas Mel Gibson makes it look cool. Whereas Tom is all about anything. I think too much about runs. And I am now going to attack. So there are 3 people right in front of me. So what do I see? I see a young woman with a fever staggering after a teenage guy in like edgelord clothing, and a dude from a burger stand. What? No, I'm not going to fire at any of you. You don't look like threats at all. I'm going to fire at Erik. He ignores the 3 of you in front.
yeah, I mean, it is a weird combo of people coming at him.
You
Like,
see him scan you visually, like almost like you can almost see his Terminator readout, like no threat, don't bother, swipe left.
right.
So Erik,
Yeah.
he hits you, and he hits you good. He does extra damage.
Oh no.
So he unloads with an auto gun on Erik. And you were a 4. That's
I was, yeah.
You're going to take, well, this will be an event. Take 16 points of damage.
I am at -8.
Oh,
Then you need to take 3 injuries. Roll them one at a time to see if you get any wounds.
oh man.
3, 5, 4.
So you need to now make a toughness save. Toughness roll.
Where are you at, toughness?
You
Okay.
got this.
I do not got this. I got 1s and 2s.
Okay. Would you like a reroll?
Yes, I would.
Take it.
There's the 6. It's 2 of them, actually.
And make a save. Well, that's good. Hey, come on, baby. I need another monitor. This is ridiculous. All right. No. Okay, so you automatically lose consciousness at a negative value equal to your maximum hits. So you can go to -12 for automatically lose consciousness. You don't have to worry about anything else because you made your roll, and you're not wounded. So you're now in more danger because you're at negative hits, but because you're not wounded, just don't get hit again and don't get wounded because that's where you can die. That's where things get really bad.
Okay.
So what that looks like, I know, make a special effort to roll your random cubes well. What that looks like is he literally unloads an autogun into Erik. So he took 3 injuries. So he's not wounded, which is more long-term wounds, which are more serious, but he's definitely bloody. So he hits him 3 times solidly, like, and he doesn't fall down, but I would imagine Erik is at least staggered back.
Ugh.
Wynona, you're up.
Please kill this thing.
Yeah, I could try to shoot it.
You absolutely can. You
Okay,
need to-
cool.
Sorry?
I said, okay, cool.
Because it's hard to get anything vulnerable in that giant suit of armor.
What was that? I do what?
You have to get 2 6s.
Oh, jeez Louise. Oh, no, I got 1 6 and 2 5s. So
Okay. I'm going to give that to you as a partial because you did the 1 hit and the second was partial. So you get to roll your damage and you'll do half.
okay, roll my damage.
And it gets a 5 against guns. So anything 5 or higher does a hit, and these 6s do your crit.
Sorry, I was on D's sheet, so now I'm going back to mine.
I think it's 4 dice.
It is. I accidentally rolled D's shoot too, but that's okay. Okay, I just got a partial, so
It's fine.
2 5s.
Oh, okay. So that's the way that works. 2 5s, that's 2 points. So 1 hit's going to get through, and that goes into the amulet of armor. So you actually like shoot it in the armor plating, and some of it falls off. So you're helping, Bizarro. Erik, you're still able to operate and shoot if you like. You're muted.
I said, great. I'm going to do that.
Sweet. Well, I assume your wind was taken out by all the gunfire.
And I am successful. I rolled 2 6s.
Sweet.
Ooh, yes.
3 5s and a 6.
Come.
And a 6.
7 points. That's
And a 6.
That's
And a
13
1.
points. That's 13 points. Okay, so you blow away the last of the amulet of armor, and the rest of it is taken to his actual hit points.
Ooh.
So he is now damaged as a living organic thing in that armor. Okay. So I use a system with hit points and hits where I use green, yellow, red. So it's green until you're at about half hit points, then I say yellow. When you only have a few left, I say red. So you can tell he's been damaged. The apple of armor's gone, and he's still green. He's not yellow yet. So he's still in fairly good condition. And at this point, Navad, you are now close enough to attempt to use your mystic arts, sir.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to, because I've kind of picked up on the fact that these guys are both organic and inanimate, to try to kind of improvise a new spell where I kind of make both the inanimate and the animate things like blow up against each other, if that makes sense. Because I know I can like...
You like him to reject his implants and shit?
Yeah, basically like if I could get the inanimate stuff to kind of try to blow out of his body, and also the organic material to want to bend around things in ways that it shouldn't, like that's kind of what I'm going for.
So the first step is you need to make a willpower save.
Okay. That's a 7-die roll for me.
You have a mighty will.
I have a mighty will, my friend. And I got 2 6s.
Okay. So what does it look like as you're gathering energy from this mana poor environment?
So I'm kind of doing like a Sufi kind of a move where I've got one hand up and the other down. And then like I'm going to kind of, I think I am going to kind of Sufi it up a little bit, where I'm like going to spin around, little dervish action, to sort of like indicate that I'm mixing my attack on organic and inorganic material, both of which I'm pretty good at, but I've never tried to do a twofer before.
Well, this is definitely it's new ground for you.
Yes.
Okay, so come on, sheep gut. Let me have a ravage check, please.
This is a ravage check, correct? Okay.
You are clearly trying to ravage this.
Oh, I'm trying to mess this guy up.
For sure.
I got a 6 and 1 5. But...
So give yourself another self-inflicted injury.
Okay.
When ones are like that, by the way, you don't roll for pass-through for wounds. They just degrade how many injury you have left. They're technically conditions.
Right.
So just go ahead and eliminate another injury for now.
Okay.
But it makes you very tired.
Yeah.
Now roll 4 dice of damage.
Okay.
Against defensive 3.
4 dice of damage against a defensive 3.
And I leave it a crit of 4.
Pardon? And a crit is 4?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. I got a 6, a 5, and a 3. So that's 5 points of damage so far?
So it's the 6 and the 5 are 1 point. Then the 4, so that's 6 points. Then
sorry.
Then reroll the 6.
Okay. Let's get an exploding 6 here, baby. Nope.
Okay. So Navad does a very almost anime style gathering. He's firebending over there.
Yeah.
And he unleashes his power, and he literally blows the armor off what's remaining of the guy on the inside. So it's more than you expected. Like there's a guy there, but he's got chunks. So like very much Star Trek, like a Borg that said the outer armor removed. So the big chunks of armored stuff, like the battle suit, just blow off of him.
Nice.
So he's now bloody and has parts of his body, like there's a piece over his chest that's come off and revealed rib cage because it just pulled itself off. And he screams. He is now yellow and vulnerable. Alan, you could close an attack if you felt like it.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
So all that face wearing talk.
So yeah, I definitely go up to him and noticing that the armor being removed makes him vulnerable. I try and rip off another piece of armor with my cyborg strength.
So brawl melee that shit.
All right.
You're rolling 3 dice looking for 6s or at least 5.
Okay. So I got 1 5.
Okay, so it's a partial success. So roll 5 dice for damage against his, well, now it's down to a 2. So you're gonna roll 5 dice. Just tell me what the 5 rolls are.
Okay. 2 6s.
So what are all 5 dice?
Oh, 6, 12.
No, what each die? Like just
1 6, 2 6s, 2 4s, and 1 2.
okay, that's 5 points, 6 points, 7 points. Then re-roll the 6s.
Okay, re-roll the 6s.
Yep.
Okay. A 4 and a 1.
Okay. You do exactly what you intended to do, but you didn't quite get. You reached out to pull off like a plate or something, but the part you pulled off were a couple of his ribs.
Oh God.
So instead of reaching left, you reach right. He's not dead, but he's dead, and he drops to the ground.
Oh my God. I'm just like, I'm in pain, like just picturing this. Like he just.
Yeah, Alan's now holding 2 ribs.
Oh no.
The guy has his armor just around it.
Oh no.
He coughs up some blood and wheezes.
Oh.
So do you well, you're not in rounds. Do you watch him die, kill him, heal him?
What is the usual group protocol here?
No.
Well, you ask Erik.
Erik is pretty much pro carnage. The rest of the group, it does depend. Like we may, I don't know. This guy seems like pretty messed up. Like I almost feel like killing.
So in my mind, this conversation as you're having it, the camera has gone to the right as you continue to have the conversation and pulled back to see the guy who's now in the background. His eyes roll up at his head, and as you're talking, he just falls forward, and a pool of blood forms under his body.
I mean, I feel like we could talk to him and see what he like. What he's about, you know.
I feel like it's possible that he may have already expired.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Well, that's all that.
You look back, and he's this broken man, the shell of armor, in this big, ever-widening pool of blood.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
what is our next move?
Okay, we should probably get out of here, I would think.
Okay, so I'm going to flip this back to good karma because, like I told you, certain kinds of role-playing that have good karma or accomplishing certain major plot point things will switch your karma. In this case, that guy was a tank. So coming out of that battle in one piece was an accomplishment.
Speaking of, what are my 3 injuries?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way the rules work is when you take a hit that's 2 or more injuries at once, which you did 3 injuries, you also get a condition which will happen to your leg. So at this point, I'm going to say that one of the bullets has nicked your lung, so you're wheezing, which is going to cut down on your endurance. It's like you'll run a little bit and you'll choke. Like you'll need to heal from that because that's recoverable, right? Because you weren't even really fully wounded. But the condition you get from the multiple injuries is wheezing. You're bleeding a little bit on the inside. It's not the kind that will kill you, but it's enough that you have limited capacity for like run fast for a mile. You know, so Erik, especially with the limp, like fortunately you're mostly climb a telephone pole and shoot at people, but you are definitely not a skirmisher after those 2 injuries. You know.
All right, fair enough.
So you see him and you can tell him, especially like Wynona, he walks a couple of steps and there's like understanding because I'm not a doctor. You get like a bubbling both to the wound and when you cough up, it's very distinctive, and you see that he does that.
Do I have anything in my medical bag that could help him?
No, he needs to lay down. He needs to stop exerting himself at all, and needs your attention for a couple of days and to heal. I mean, you
Erik,
touch him up, like he's not probably wounded, so you're probably okay. But yeah, that was not great.
Erik, I'm gonna need you to just slow down for a couple days, okay? I know that you've been through a lot with your brother. You've gotten wounded so many times. But
I don't think that the beer and pretzels were worth this.
listen, there's an old saying, and I sort of want to live my life by it. It's called YOLO, and it means you only live once. And I kind of admire the fact that you're just so headstrong and you go in there. And as you know, I'm trying to become more like you, and I just thank you for saving us. And the only way you can keep saving us is if you slow down, okay?
Well, let me give you a piece of advice I just learned. If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends.
I don't want to be your lover.
I mean, in a spiritual sense, not like a physical lover.
Okay. I have recently found out that my type is more robotic. You know,
Ooh.
I sort of like the am I alive? Am I not? Am I a machine? Am I a living thing? You know.
Hey, that's the story from A to B.
So I think if I could afford the money we'd have to pay, we would go to there's a Dresden Dolls song, Automatic Boy, that would be completely appropriate for her commentary, which I believe was a love song to her vibrator, but applies here. All right, so the group runs down the hallway, but stopping and being mindful to poor Erik. Erik, the way the healing works is you have to rest for 10 minutes to get all your hits back. You can't risk when you're under threat. So while you're literally running down a corridor, you're going to be still at negative like you are.
Okay.
3 hours rest removes an injury. Conditions come back slowly depending on what they are. So you're looking at need to get someplace safe and rest up.
Fair.
So the party goes down the hallway, and in another 10 minutes, it goes up, and this is clearly the ramp in. You can see how this was just literally the long form loading dock to the presumptuous pimple. It's Batman villain from the 60s. You come out, and there is an SUV waiting for you. It's been armored a bit and has up top has a hatch. There's a guy like half visible that's got a submachine gun, and he's got the foil robe thing with the hood. We're looking for Alan.
Tim. Here's our guy.
Oh, we're sent to pick you up. Get on in. And they open up. It's got the load-in side door. So very much like a SWAT kind of thing. You don't know what it was originally. Well, that's very much the vibe you're getting right now. In you go. Yeah, Albert sent for us. Are you all right?
Yes, we are.
One of them actually pulls back her hood when she pulls out a bag. And there's a tradition of the standard medical cross, regardless of what faction you're from. If you have that bag and the symbol is out, it's like, holy ground, Highlander. People leave you the hell alone. Otherwise, everybody kills you because they know if you don't leave doctors alone, you're stupid. You die. So this person's obviously a medic and immediately sets about, sees that Wynona's already helping and like, do you mind? And comes in. She has more supplies and there's also some stuff in the bag. So starts bandaging Erik up. She'll probably do like a bag in to the lung and draw out the blood and make it easier for you to breathe because there's fluid in there. So all kinds of procedural doctorship.
As I'm doing that, I say, when we were back there, I meant to say, I love the smell of napalm in the morning, but I was too concentrated on getting out. So it was sort of a missed opportunity. Erik, I feel like you would appreciate that.
I do.
So the person on top bumps on the truck in a very familiar way.
Does it have it's missing a little bit of paint up there too?
Yep.
Similar divot
He
point.
leans down and says, "We got drones, and if we don't get them all, we're not getting away clean."
Motherfucker.
So there are gun ports on the sides, and then there's the turret up top. The guy up top has a submachine gun. Does anyone want to man either of the gun ports? There's one on the left and one on the right side.
What are the dispositions of the guns on the either side? They're not submachine guns? What kind of guns are they?
There's no guns at all. Just holes.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I definitely will take one of the holes.
Does anyone else take the other one? You could also, in theory, open the doors and back because they're coming this way towards you and you're driving the way. So you could just open the back to have open firing if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Can we tell how many of them are?
There are 3.
Oh.
I think Alan's had enough violence for the day. He's still a little shook.
Are you looking at your bloody hand?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think he's still holding the
rib.
Yeah.
It's a rib. It's kind of just a tiny bit of rib on his hands.
You know, Alan, you used to serve ribs at the shack.
Oh, no. Rib robot.
Just the look of horror. Oh no!
I decided to do it, taking a page from Erik's book.
So Erik's going to go one of the what does Nevada do?
Hold on.
Nevada.
Oh, so I feel like
You do have to attack you with more shit, man. Are you not engaged?
No, I was. I got a lag on my Zoom here for a weird second. So Nevad's not really a projectile weapon sort of dude.
That's certainly not a sniper.
No. I feel like I'm just gonna see how this goes, and then maybe if I need to cook up a spell of some kind, I'll try it out. But I'm not.
Erik, give me a shoot.
Twice successful.
Okay. Don't even bother rolling the damage. You draw your target, you blast it, it goes. If you go ahead and roll 5 dice for me for the guy up top. You're looking for 6s or 5s? 6s are the main thing.
3 6s, 1 5.
Oh shit. Second one, don't bother rolling damage. Second one goes up. There's other people in here there's a guy with a pistol, and he's going to use the other port. So Shannon, go ahead and give me 3 dice string. It's not really their big gun.
Okay. I got 3 5s.
Okay. So you are going to have to roll damage. Roll 4 dice.
Okay. What's the armor on it?
3.
Okay, so I got a 3, a 4, and a 6.
So that's 6 points.
And roll the 6 again.
Yep, always.
I got a 5. So.
Okay. So 6 would have been enough, but you got a partial. So it's yellow. Yeah, and it's going to back off. So that means the only one that's really going to be able to effectively fire is Erik. It's now going to know to not get close enough because that was death. So this is going to be distant, but you're all about picking shit off at distant.
Yep.
So go ahead and make your roll.
That's 3 6s.
It explodes. And at this point, there's a cheer from the NPCs in the truck, and the camera pulls back and sees you pull away. The guy that had you get in says, "My name's Gordon." At this point, you don't have to roll your insight. He is just kind of staring pie-eyed at Alan. Like the people in the truck seem to just be like over the moon that he's in their presence.
Join the club.
Are you all okay? I mean, we think you really should lay back down, sir. the
Okay,
medic-
okay.
You pulled some of the tape off, but that was really good shooting.
Thanks.
A short time later, you pull into a residential area and up to an old church. And then they open the doors, and we're waiting for you inside.
All right.
So the group and everybody in here, they don't just like leave you and drive away and go, ah. They get out with you and they escort you in. Inside, there are a bunch of people. Once they're in here, they take the foil things off. So it's clear they're all, this is very shades of Borg in that some of them obviously were cybered and have patches of skin that are grafts where they've torn out things. So they had gone one way and changed their minds. So there are very obviously people that had been upgraded and have been downgraded. It's very clear when you're looking around the room. And like the lab back at the museum, there are some machines here and there's some work they're doing, but their work seems to be de-escalating. It's like the reverse of what they were doing inside the structure. The most striking thing you see is instead of a Christ figure up on the altar in the church, there's a crash test dummy that's been electroplated with platinum and draped with diffraction cloth. So it ends up looking like sort of a savior android, and the arms have been lifted in a kind of a traditional, palms out kind of a pose. There is a gray-haired man with chrome eyes who's wearing priest robes, and they have him come up to you. Welcome. You look like an Alan?
Yes, that is me.
Well, welcome home, Alan.
Home.
So walking towards you is someone you recognize. She is an Ada.
Wow.
And she's dressed in kind of homespun. And when you look at her, she's obviously of an earlier generation than Alan because she's more clearly android looking, but they're obviously of a type. Alan.
Ada, how are you?
I was terrible, but these people found me, and they were able to resuscitate me. You don't look like a 3.
I'm Alan 5.
I'm Ada 3. She gives you a hug.
I hug her back.
Your chest is so warm. Are you all right?
Well, I am having malfunctions.
She turns to the guy dressed as the priest. My name is Isla. I run this place. It's a haven for the next born, such as your friend here. We have machines and parts for. We found some of your people in labs, some that were reassigned to the military in the field, and some of them we couldn't recover, but that gave us parts. If you don't mind, we can try to repair you.
Please do, and I start to walk towards them.
Ada holds your hand and leads you towards the back of the building. Eisler turns to, I guess she turned to Wynona. Thank you for bringing Alan 5 here.
Of course, you're going to be able to save him, right?
We haven't taken a look inside, but we certainly hope so.
And how long will that take?
Hard to tell. You're wearing a doctor's bag. You know what it's like until we can triage, right?
Of course. I didn't know if it was different with a non.
In their own way, they're in the human body is an organic miracle of complexity we never fully understood for the fall. Synthetic bodies are even more sophisticated. The only advantage we have is we knew the mystery going in. So we don't have to reverse engineer like we did with human bodies. We know, even though they're more advanced than our mere flesh, because they are made, not born, we have a roadmap. So he should be fine. I thank you for your concern.
Of course, we've grown quite close to him and we consider him a friend.
By the way, a small detail that's probably worth noticing is where, that you would have noticed, is where those other people wore 2s for human 2.0. The statue of the android has the Greek symbol for beta on their forehead. You're welcome to stay here. We will need to repair and perhaps rehabilitate your friend. Judging from his speech pattern, he's taken moderate neurological damage. We can work to fix that, but it's not, those pathways have to be rewritten, so it will take some time.
Okay, we'll wait.
Excellent. Alan, the back of the room, you're introduced. There are 3 more of your kind back here. And there's actually another Alan, Alan 4. Alan 4 says to you, if they don't have the parts you need, I'm near end of cycle on many of mine, and I'd be happy to lend them to you if that will allow a later generation to survive past me.
While we may be of different generations, we're all just as valuable. So if they're unable to repair me, then my time is simply up.
And you see the people around you are all acting like, they're not being gross about it, but they're all reacting like you're dropping pearls of wisdom. Like these people are clearly apostles of your and the way they're deferring to everyone that's non-organic is clearly, this is a church for the androids. So over the next several days, a couple of things happen. First thing, they're absolutely able to repair Alan. Alan 4 does not have to give up any of his pieces. You discover that their species seems to be very self-sacrificing and communal. So the first thing they all kind of talk like Alan in that sense of, well, we're here to help each other if we can. Like if they've evolved in any way, most obviously, it's that unlike humans, they seem to have come out of the mold going, we're all in this together, which is refreshing in a way that all the people in this church immediately reacted to. One thing that's a little odd is the people here are almost nihilistic because their opinion seems to be, no, that was the apocalypse. The human race is done. It's clear it's done. See all the broken cities? See the angels taking care of plastic to space? Humans are over. We don't consider them enemies, but we had our time. We had, thousands of years. And they're very deferential in the way to Erik, because they're like, well, okay, in our mind, Wynona and Erik are the inheritors of the humans. So this is your world. This is Alan's world. So that's the way they treat you. They're a little less differential to B, to D, and to Navad. They don't seem to know what to make of Navad. They don't seem to run into any magic. You're feeling better, by the way. And Wynona, he looks a little less sickly. You've never run into an area that was so strongly scientific that, like, the way you warp the laws of reality, when apparently an area is actively like science and working with science and physics like that, they're reinforcing the laws. So,
Oh, whoa. That was what was making me sick?
yep.
There was too much science and math happening?
It turns out that science is the solution for many problems.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So yeah, you were having
it-
trouble, like you couldn't warp the reality because it was too strongly reinforced there. But your powers are.
wow. Oh,
Uh,
weird. Oh, that's amazing.
So Wynona has a decision to make now. After about a day and a half, D starts showing evidence of metallic discoloration. So the positive things, her reaction time does seem to have improved. Like if you give her simple neurological tests, like she's reacting as quickly as Erik often does. Like she's been cyborged a little, whatever that was done to her. She's recalling things a little easier. So that thing where she's forgetful, that's kind of going away. Like, so that seems to have worked. But now she's got like her fingernail beds and like the eyes, around the eyes, almost like it's makeup, have gotten a silverish tinge to them. So the question is, do you cut off the supplements, which would then, if you were told the truth, cause the nanites to try to eat the metal out of her blood? They'd fail and die, but she would get sick because you're giving her, like, grossly speaking and inaccurately speaking, but kind of like giving her a short-term cancer. Like, go ahead and do this, because unlike cancer, it's the nanites that are doing it. And it would then, they'd die and it'd be over. So are you going to stop the treatment and let that happen and take that risk? Or do you let it run its course?
I think I trust that that place had ill intentions, so I'm going to stop the treatment. And I'm just going to take really close care of her. And I know she's young and strong, and so I have faith that she will pull through.
So she gets sick, and somewhat conveniently, her sickness will take her out of the next episode because Danielle would not be able to play that episode anyway. But she will be having to rest and recuperate. So the last thing I need, and then we're going to go, give me a 2-up of Wynona and Alan, please.
What do you need again? Sorry.
So I was asking Colt for a 2-up of Alan and Wynona. So that's
Okay.
me.
Okay.
He's not got you yet. Hang on. He just got my freaky head. No, you get all the time, man. You're doing all the work. So Alan, you were repaired. They were able to repair the smoking, the power problem. They replaced the relays, and like they said, over time, the neurological damage will disappear. So you are regaining yourself. You're starting very much to feel like you are. There are 4 of you here, and you have a small community and a support staff. They have asked you to stay, and they are going to continue their mission to find more of you, repair you, and the priest tells you, we believe that all told, there are over 100 of you somewhere. Now, we know that a lot of you went into service for other companies when the program was shut down, and some were given over to the military. So it's going to be a long-term mission of ours to find as many as we can, and then help hand our world over to you.
Okay. While Alan inside doesn't know if he fully agrees with this handing over the world business, he does know that he wants to help other folks like him and has since decided to stay with him. But he takes off his old like raggedy apron that he always wore, and he like hands it over to Dr. Wynona.
Thank you. I
No.
will have this forever.
Thank you. You saved my life.
No. Smells like you. You have a smell that's good.
Oh, really? I wouldn't know.
I've got a good sniffer, as they say.
I'm sure you do.
You know, it's ironic because when I was younger, my family found out about the Catholic religion that used to be, and they started teaching us ways to become Catholic. And now we're in this church, and just kind of reminds me, I feel like I should be taking communion. But that's all to say that I wish you good luck, and I really hope that you find the rest of your kind. And if you ever want to visit the Shire, I'll be there or on a mission. But, you know, we can be pen pals and keep each other up to date on where the world is going and how we can make it a better place. If you want, if not, I can just.
Well, of course.
Okay, cool.
I'd love to come visit you sometime.
Really? Awesome. Well, I don't do this very often, especially with my patients, but I just want to let you know that I think you're one of the best life forms I've ever encountered, and you have my blessing to move forward in life. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just nervous.
And it's at that point that Alan kisses her on the cheek and gives her a hug. And says, I'll be seeing you soon.
That feels like the button to me. So we're going to call that the end of the episode. So you will end up leaving Alan behind, although you not necessarily the end of your relationship with him. In some cases, I mean it more specifically than others. But you leave him to his mission to find his people and to maybe talk about these people about not being quite so nihilistic about their view.
Yeah.
But they clearly mean well. It's also obvious that their faith is a reaction to the twisted faith of the transers. All right. Well, thank you, Ify. Super fun playing with you, man.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was a blast. Ooh, let me be a part of your world.
Our fucked up world.
Yeah.
Well, I think credits today is Erik, yeah? Not Erik. You're a person.
I am. I'm a human being with feelings and emotions.
It's true.
So I want to thank our technical director, Colt Joyce, Andreas Fabus for opening narration, Qui-Gon Bowers, as always, for chat moderation, and again, our special guest, Ify Nwadiwe, our contest winner, Tiger Striped Moon. Until next week, we'll see you in the wasteland.